During the fall semester of 2013, students from the Ohio University Lancaster Bachelor of Science and Applied Management program began their most ambitious project to date. The program's philosophy of learning through theory and practice would be put to the ultimate test as these students would undertake a project that would not only transcend the traditional schedules and learning habits that the students are accustomed to, but also go beyond the classroom and give students an inside look for both for-profit and not-for-profit organizations.
At least the management field in two spectrums, higher education, theory and practice. And the project approach in particular, many think, as do I, that it's perhaps the strongest balance of theory and practice, where our theory informs directions that we should be trying in practice, and our practice informs theory as to how those theories work out in the real world. So in terms of their competencies, students, graduates in an applied management in particular, have to have when they graduate, have to have competencies in that balance. They have to understand theories, they have to understand how to think about work, and they also have to understand how to implement work. Whether it's, depending on the project, it could be obviously survey work, that's for sure project management, it could be marketing related, or it could be continuous improvement, operations improvement as well.
For this project, the students teamed up with 4 other local organizations with the ultimate goal of increasing the number of inquiries into the Fairfield County Child Protective Services foster care program. While this goal was bold in itself, this was only the starting point for the project.
We started today by explaining our upcoming project work that he has in line for us, and kind of confused about the whole concept, but he has sparked my interest, so I guess we'll see what happens from here. All I am sure of is that I'm going to be carrying around this camera and documenting what it is that we're going to be doing this semester.
What was nice about, well, and even sitting in the presentation, and going beyond Fairfield National Bank, but being able to sit on a project and see that you have Fairfield County Job and Family Services, Northwoods Consulting, Fairfield National Bank, Promotions by Design. So now you have all of these for-profit businesses that obviously have agreed to share in the responsibility.
Well, we just got caught up on the subjects for the projects, and now we're going to be moving forward. Not really sure who's on board, who's not on board, but most of the group seems interested, so it'll be interesting to see how things play out.
The 4 organizations that participated, which were Fairfield County Child Protective Services, Fairfield National Bank, Northwoods Consulting, and Promotions by Design, each in their own way have a stake in improving the community. Northwoods, a pioneer in the development of software for human services organizations, strives daily to find innovative ways to improve the efficiency of social service workers so they can spend more time in the field making a direct impact.
What we've looked at in terms of working with Northwoods, they've primarily been a organization that provides technological solutions to our work, and so the one area that we saw that was very much in common was working with BSAM. They said, well, yeah, we don't want to just give you a shiny new thing that you can say, okay, yeah, we did this. The BSAM program was interested in saying, how can we impact your daily life, your duties and responsibilities that you have. We want to do a project that's actually going to be utilized, and working with a company like Northwoods, that was their interest. They said, well, yeah, we can create a lot of apps for your tablets, we can do lots of things, but if you're not going to use them, we don't want to spend time on that. We want to do things that are meaningful and are going to actually be applicable to what you already do. And so we saw a lot of commonality there.
Fairfield National Bank has a history rich in giving to the community. For the company's creation, they have had a corporate philosophy of supporting local activities, charities, and events. This has resulted in a long-lasting relationship with Job and Family Services, whom they try to support as well.
the youth and the protective services for the young as well as for the elderly. So in all walks of life, Fairfield County Job and Family Services can come into play to help you during a difficult time. So if we can have our citizens feel safer and be more productive citizens themselves, if they've gone through a difficult time and they've taken advantage of some of the services that Job and Family Services has to get them back on their feet, then that just makes our community stronger and a place where people want to live and work.
The long-lasting relationship between Job and Family Services and Fairfield National Bank has often been supported by another one of our partners, Promotions by Design, who specializes in integrating promotional items to support the marketing initiatives of various organizations.
Today I sat in on my first project manager meeting, and I wasn't really sure what to expect going in. I know that now there's just a few of us left in this project, so from here hopefully we can get these proposals submitted and get the ball rolling.
It was this idea of learning about strategic messages that was enough to entice organizations who have a strong philosophy of supporting community causes into the project.
Well, one of the things I think we're most interested in is getting some quantitative data and numbers to put with what we already believe is true, and that's that people appreciate us giving back to the community. We know we enjoy giving back to the community. That's not a hard thing to figure out because we have a lot of fun participating in community events and things. I think if you can measure the information that you've gathered through your data and have some type of measurable information in some sort of fashion. Anything you make things quantitative. Of course, I'm a banker, so we like numbers, but that can really show that you've got some information to prove or disprove whatever you're trying to find. So if we can get information back and say, you know, this percentage feels this way of the surveys that were taken and this percentage feels this way, we'll really have some more information to gauge on how we should go forward with any of our giving to the community.
The project was divided into 4 teams of students. One group was responsible for promotional items, which was a critical aspect for the study because if the content of the message was not consistent with the promotional items, then we risked having a disconnect and losing effectiveness.
Our group's task was to implement an integrated marketing communications component to this project, and more specifically to select strategically some promotional products to help us deliver our message.
The 2 types of messages that the team focused on were peer influence messages and cause-related marketing messages. The team focused their peer influence messages towards faith-based organizations because related studies have proven that when these types of messages are given to faith-based organizations, the campaign is more effective. The team created a specific faith-based peer influence message and then passed it out to several local places of worship. They then measured the effectiveness of this type of message by controlling the path of inquiries into the Child Protective Services system.
So for our part of the project, we were in charge of peer influence, which is the amount of influence that someone can have in relationships to others and their peers around them. For us strategically, we looked at churches and faith-based organizations to see how that peer influence could influence them in their decisions and their actions in participating in the foster care program. So by using the substantial research and researching for our own what peer influence could do in respect to the people at these faith-based organizations, we then applied that in the form of messages specific to these people and their ideas and beliefs to try to gather them and try to really have them rally around this great cause. And hopefully then we could see a substantial reasoning why that would work.
The other area of focus was on cause-related marketing messages. The cause-related marketing team chose to study 3 specific constructs based on the interests of the organizations involved. The 3 constructs were cause fit, brand image, and switching. The team created quantitative surveys to measure the attitudes of the community in the areas of these constructs to see how perceptions in one construct area impacts beliefs about another.
Here we are working over break, and I just found out that I'm going to interview for grad school, so most of this work I've done this semester has paid off, and I'm kind of excited to see how this turns out. Hopefully the project works out just as well as this interview coming up.
The final component of this project was a surprise to each of the organizations involved. The project teams wanted to put together a complete social media campaign to illustrate the great work being done by each of the organizations. The students designed a complete social media campaign for each organization that uses word of mouth as the driving force behind the marketing effort.
Going into this semester, I couldn't have predicted developing the friendships that I was going to develop working on this project. I've had a lot of time to spend with these people, and I've actually developed some close-knit relationships that hopefully continue past this semester. In the end, I really couldn't have asked to work with a better group of people.
The project overall was a large success. The students and organizations both benefited from the joint effort.
Well, it looks like the project's finally wrapping up. Quarter way through spring semester. We've got some good stuff. I think we're ready to roll, present this to everybody. But I just want to take some time and thank the BSAM program for letting me be involved in this project, and also thank the partners, Fairfield National Bank, Fairfield County Jobs and Family Services, Promotions by Design, and Northwoods. It's been a great learning experience. Hopefully in my next chapter I can take some what I've done in this project and apply it. So again, just thank everybody involved in this project.